Okay, my name's Jewel Carroll, and this is my research project. It's over recombinant DNA technology. So, this is the contents page. This is basically just what each slide is going to be over. And so, basically, just kind of so you know what you're getting yourself into for each slide. So, what is recombinant DNA technology? In the simple terms, recombinant DNA technology is just techniques where you would take a segment or a gene from a DNA and you would isolate that, you would splice that from the DNA and you would join it with another DNA segment to from another species to create a new genes with the preferred purposes, the desired traits that you're wanting in that new or the genes that you put in there. So recombinant DNA is useful in a lot of ways, because not only is it just focused on like one branch of science, it can be used in medicine, it can be used in agriculture, like animals and produce. A way it can be used in medicine is this next bullet point that I have that recombinant DNA uh, it helps scientists actually study DNA segments in the lab. So you would take the desired segment. The way that you would use it in medicine is you would take the desired segment or gene from the DNA, and you would put that in a yeast or bacterial cell, where it will start to copy the DNA segment that's been added along with the cell uh, copying its own DNA as well. So examples like medicine that this can help create is like insulin and growth hormones, and those are just the two that I put on there. But I've got a picture down here that I've added that is a little bit more of a visual for uh how you would splice that DNA segment that you're wanting uh and inserting it in a medicine case, inserting it into the yeast or bacterial cell. So why is recombinant DNA technology important? So it's important because it can help with a multitude of things, like in proving food resources and agriculture and strengthening health resources. So it's especially helpful in the agriculture and in produce and animals because you could create produce that has the genes to fight diseases better and to have a better immune system and to live longer. So, like their life before they start to rot or over ripen, to stay where it's edible for longer. So that just means it'll stay how you want it from the farm to on the shelf for consumers to actually buy it for longer instead of going bad. It's an overall better survival for a lot of produce out there. Um, with that said, the human DNA or the human population is increasing, which means that the demand for food and medicine is increasing as well. So, with recombinant DNA technology, there's a way that we can fill those demands. It We can get food out faster by um creating more desired effects of maybe it growing faster. We can if the desirable trait was to make the food bigger, like to make a tomato or apple bigger, so you have more dense food, you have more mass actually in the food. You could that if that's a desired trait, you could splice that and that DNA segment and manipulate that where that's the case in that food. The picture, the visual that I've put in for this slide is just the DNA or the human population, a human population chart. And so this pink line is just the growth rate, the percentage, and this the teal color is the actual world population. So obviously this was in 2019 if you can read that down there. So we're probably about right here, which is about right. That'd be about 8 billion. And as you can see, we're set to grow a lot more. So recombinant DNA technology is going to help tremendously with just getting more food out and medicine as the demands get higher. So, how does recombinant DNA impact the world? We're seeing a lot of modern problems that modern technology is creating, and so those modern problems are going to need modern solutions. And recombinant DNA technology is one of those solutions. Recombinant DNA technology, like I had stated, can put food out faster and that stays ripe longer, along with helping with different medicines. With more food getting put onto the shelves, the more that gets put out, the more affordable it becomes, which is also extremely important because that can be desirable to classes that while we grow and while everyday things become more scarce and a bit more expensive, being able to get food and just regular produce out there enough for it is affordable is going to be extremely helpful. It also improves health conditions by developing vaccines and medicine for those in needs. So we have uh, under standard hospitals and health resources in a lot of third world countries. So by being able to develop these new vaccines and medicines and get them out, um, and getting those desired traits for that out, it can make it affordable for people who need those health resources as well. Um, there's been a large increase in industrialization, which has put out a ton of more pollution. So, an example for this is water pollution, and that affects the aquatic life, which also affects humans. So, recombinant DNA actually can help with environmental issues as well by converting those wastes into useful things like biofuels. So, the picture I added down here was just an example of how this helps in animals in particular. So you would take your spiced or your desired trait and you would insert it into that animal egg and you would fertilize that animal egg and put it into a surrogate. So in this case, this female cow would be that surrogate. It's holding now the calf that has been that's DNA has been manipulated to have that desired trait. If the desired trait in this situation is to have more protein in its milk, then that calf you would know for a fact is going to be born having carrying more protein in its milk. So the surrogate itself, the mother itself would not affect her milk, but the offspring is what we would be looking at. It would have that desired effect for protein in the milk that may not happen if you just were to do this through conventional breeding instead. So this is inside. This is a conclusion of what we've talked about and what have we learned. So recombinant DNA technology, we learned that it splices specific genes. It takes the desired effect or desired traits of genes and it pairs them with other segments to get the desired product, the product we're wanting in the end. Um, recombinant DNA technology can not only make more desirable food, but it also can put out better health products and eventually indirectly make them more affordable. And recombinant DNA technology impacts the world through a lot of ways. So, like I was stating in the last few slides, it helps with food, it helps with medicine, the medical demand that is increasing with the world's population, and it helps with environmental issues by converting that water. And um, it's overall, it's really useful because at this point you for or for specifically in agriculture you wouldn't be relying on just conventional breeding. You would be able to manipulate the offspring of whatever you want the desired trait in to specifically have what you're looking for. So these are my cited sources and this is the end slide and that was my research topic and over recombinant DNA technology. Thank you.